Hey guys, welcome to the CSL Plus. Once again, we at the 12 o'clock position. We have Zeko as the red protoss 6 o'clock position. As the, yellow protoss, we have Joseph, and this is going to be on destination, which is kind of fun PvP map. I actually like it as far as PvP maps go. Zealot's very strong, High Templar very strong, just because of those the bridges that convolute any sort of map movement into the mid game. Between the two, we'll see how it goes. A lot of pressure is going to be on Zeko because right now Cal down 2-1. Come on, Cal, you can pull it out over against the University of Toronto. Although they have basically a stacked team. You got JF there, and JF is almost an auto win, so you know you're at least getting one. So anyway, got to just overcome the pressure. Come on, stay focused.
Yeah, Zeko and Joseph, neither of them doing any kind of cheese in the early game. Both players playing, safe. We can see Joseph putting an anti-mana pylon down. He knows that Cal wants to win, so to prevent any kind of mana pyloning, to try to hurt his econ, gonna go ahead and put that anti-mana pylon, prevent that. And Zeko, of course, not doing anything of the kind. Both players are just gonna probably just do standard builds, which is 2-gate obs. Into expos or reavers, depending on the play styles of how they play.
I really feel like you can tell Psionic's getting tired. He's doing a little bit of the repeating stuff. You know what they play and stuff, and the pylons out in the field.
The pylons.
They're there.
Construct additional pylons.
Yeah, I think by far the strongest build in this map is basically just 2-gate Dragoon into expansion with observers coming alongside, just in case there were some Dark Templar out in the field. I really feel like Dark Templar early can just hurt you unless you're opening up that back mineral line at that little mineral edge back there, just because even if you do manage to sneak Dark Templar a few seconds before the observers are in the mix, you can just throw some Dragoons up there. You can block your Dragoons on the ramp and flood them back. There's just a lot of things you can do to stop that early. Buy yourself some time to get some detection out. So unless you're completely caught with your pants down, it doesn't end up working out. Looks like both players, just setting up that second pylon for going with a little bit more of an economic game to start, rather than going for just a straight 2-gate. Probably going to place, I would assume, getting Dragoons a little sooner rather than later. We're already seeing the assimilator on one side, and a little bit of probe harassment happening on both edges. Still no gas take here from Zeko, so Zeko may be getting a little bit, looks like he went for a Zealot first instead, maybe a little bit distracted by this probe scout. And we are seeing a little bit of lag, so I'm wondering how much that's affecting these players, if we're going to ask for a drop here before not too long. Because, there's already talking about it in match here, but critically Zeko missing his gas, and that's actually extremely significant. It looks like he's going to go 1-gate into expansion here, playing very, very risky right off the bat, and he's going to be playing against a 2-gate, so he's going to have to rely on essentially a lot of defense, and this is going to be very difficult, particularly with Dragoons onto the mid-game across those ramps, because Zealots can't group around the Dragoons like they can in other maps when you can just kind of get lucky with positioning, so he's going to have a hard time fighting this off.
If he's going to go for an expand like this, Zeko, he really should go ahead, throw down a second gateway, start pumping out a lot of Zealots, and start trying to pressure Joseph, keep him on his ramp, prevent those goons from coming down and out into the field just yet, while he gets a forge up and puts down a bunch of cannons. Because if you're just going to go for a mineral-only build like this, and you're going to get your gas a lot later, get a forge, get cannons. He's got the forge coming down, but really you should have a few Zealots trying to pressure your opponent, hopefully to make him cause mistakes, make him misclick something, or forget to build something, forget a pylon, because that only helps you with doing a risky build like this. And once again, Zeko, because he's not getting Dragoons, it could just be really easy for Joseph to mine out that back mineral patch with the probe and gain access that way into Zeko's base.
Also, that secondary, even if he does plant cannons, it looks like he's going to plant cannons right at the ridge. It's a pretty wide secondary, so if troops do manage to get in there, the cannon coverage is going to be somewhat lax. But additionally, this is going to delay production, because keep in mind, 2 cannons, that's 300 minerals, which delays production on top of that. And additionally, when you place a forge like this, this is a signal to your opponent that he can go ahead and put on pressure and go ahead and put an expansion of his own up. So it looks like a 3rd gateway being placed instead, so it looks like 2 more gateways being placed instead. Wow, so it looks like the game plan is just to run and try to crush Zeko before his economy can kick in.
It's all going to come down to how well Zeko can defend those 2 bridges. Personally, I don't like putting my cannons right on that edge, because then enemy Dragoons don't have to move in as far to engage those cannons from both sides. If he had just moved those cannons back just a little bit further, maybe just a half a pixel back each, then his Zealots can still hold position where they are and defend them from Dragoons, but not as many Dragoons can snipe at those cannons or those Zealots at one time. We can see Joseph moving off a couple Zealots, trying to put a little bit of pressure, I guess, chase off that scouting probe, but they really can't attack Zeko because of his defensive placement at the moment. There's 7x core for Zeko, his second gateway. He'll be pumping out a few Dragoons here in a little bit, but it looks like Joseph just building a lot of Zealots and going for DT. Interesting build.
I think what he's actually going for, he's going to go for some speed Zealots. He doesn't have a Forge to go for the +1. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a speed Zealot run just to try to get past those cannons or surround them as quickly as possible and just float over that secondary. Another cannon being placed to run along that backside edge to provide a little bit of coverage there. We also see the Citadel of Adun being placed on the opposite end. So I assume that's not for Zealot speed. I do assume that is for High Templar. Sorry, lost control of the camera right there. Mouse is getting off the keypad here. But anyway, it's pure Zealot from this stage on, and he's still, maybe you're right, maybe he is going DT. No, never mind, he took all of his probes off gas. So we are in fact going to see the +1, or not even +1 because he hasn't placed a Forge, so it's going to be Zealot speed right into the secondary off 4 gateways. And this could be really, really successful depending, because right now I only see 4 Zealots, 3 cannons, and a Dragoon to try to defend, and there's plenty of Zealots there. The speed upgrade is going to be done in probably not too long, and that's going to be a lot of Zealots to fight off in a really short period of time without basically a lot to work with. Dark Templar could really stop this short if Zeko's really heads up and can get them out in the field as quickly as possible, because there's no detection whatsoever on the opposite side, and it's going to be a while before detection's anywhere near being complete, specifically mobile detection. So that would really hurt this, especially because you can just put 2 Dark Templar in any of the gaps or on that ramp, and that would be the end of that. 2 more cannons being placed though, so it's going to be pretty close between all of these Zealots and the speed.
Yeah, the first thing Zeko needs to do is his first DT, don't use it to defend, send it right to Joseph's base to start doing damage to that economy, but he can't really think about that right now. Here comes Joseph trying to come in, trying to bust down the front door, those cannons are warping in, and Joseph really, I think that choice of going for speed Zealots, just, it takes a while to build it up, it takes a while to get enough Zealots to be able to move in, probes coming off the line to defend as well, and Joseph's not going to be able to take down this expansion. He really should have just taken an expansion to try to catch up to Zeko while trying to go for Reaver harass, but he realizes that he can't get back into the game, and Joseph GG's.